Hi everybody, it's Mitchell here once again. Now I'm here to talk to you about Steemit marketing. Now there's going to be three main topics today. It's going to be transparency, it's going to be developers, and it's going to be the Steam ecosystem. And we're not going to give the whole marketing plan away today, but these will show some of the really interesting things we are planning. I'll try to keep this video as short as I can, but let's dive right in. So let's first talk about transparency. Now, I want transparency to be an increasingly important theme at Steemit. I think it's a better way for us to do business. I think it's going to assist with the marketing. I think it's going to create a stronger community relationship. Transparency has loads of benefits. There's just one cost. And the cost of that is obviously going to be privacy. In this case, my own and that of some of the other members of the team. That being said, I'm convinced that us being more transparent about our lives and, of course, Steemit is going to be a net benefit for everybody else. So I'm happy to sacrifice some of my privacy, some of my security regarding that in order to share the news, so to speak. Now, this transparency is going to take some unusual forms. I'm not going to spoil the surprise as to what that's going to look like, but I guarantee that a lot of you will like what that looks like. So it's not just transparency and saying, look, here are our documents. It's going to be transparency in action, transparency as a way of life. But yeah, more on that later. I will save these surprises for the appropriate time, the appropriate expression. Let's now talk about devs. Now, developers are going to be a key part of the marketing strategy for Steemit. You might ask why. Well, let's talk about communities. Communities are the single most important feature of any social media platform, of course. People come on and they play on Facebook, they're on Reddit, they're on this, they're on that. They're not there to shout into the void. They're there to interact. They're there to build relationships. They're there to create a community as real as it can possibly be on the internet. That's what they want. That's what we all want. And that's what Steemit is about too. We have a small advantage in that we can show our appreciation with actual rewards instead of mere words. But communities remain the core. Now the dev community, the developer community, has a special place on Steemit, a very special one, because it's the dev community that can build on top of the Steem blockchain. And while we're at Steemit we're working as fast as we can, of course, on the core features of Steemit and improving the Steem blockchain where we can, pardon me, the real evolution of Steem is not going to come from Steemit. The real evolution of the Steem blockchain is going to come because 100 different devs built a dozen different Steem apps, and all of those are using Steem and Steem power in ways we never really expected, in ways that produce so much more value than Steemit alone ever could. It's about creating synergy. So the network effect is not strictly about how many of us do we have creating content to the network. The network effect is about how many apps, how many different applications, how many different ways can we find out to reward interesting and valuable content, to curate interesting and valuable content. That's the direction that I'd like to see the dev community go in. And this isn't just talk, we're going to help make that happen. That's why we at Steemit are going to be partnering with devs to create a bigger Steem ecosystem. My vision, and I hope yours too, but my vision for a future successful Steemit.com and Steemit community is not just Steemit. It's a Steem social media and content rewards ecosystem. Microblogging, normal blogging, magazine publications, thunderclaps, so many other things could be using Steem as a reward mechanism and bringing all the benefits there. Imagine all your favorite social media outlets. No walls, no burdens, no abuses of privacy, rewarding people for the contributions that they provide. That's what I want Steem to become. That's its potential. We have a point system. We can apply it however we want. And Steemit can be the hub of that. Steemit can be the new front of the internet, so to speak, where people come to share, reward, incentivize, promote, spread extremely valuable content. First on a community basis, and then of course to everyone as a whole. Now, a lot of that work is already in progress. But not all of it. Arbitrary rewards are finally here, which means the ability to monetize these Steam apps has come. Monetize just according to usership. So it's going to be an exciting evolution to see that happen. But most of the work and most of the apps that are going to be on the Steam blockchain, we don't even know what those are. They haven't even been created yet. So we at Steemit are going to be partnering with what we think and we hope are the best projects that will be using the Steam blockchain, and we'll be helping to bring them to fruition, not just with, of course, our assistance technically, but with monetary assistance as well if that's required. Whatever it takes to create a Steam ecosystem. This is especially important because this part here, we're laying the foundation for a Steam ecosystem, for a Steam social media and content rewards network, a system, a big giant organism producing value for everybody who participates. This is what we're talking about. And the marketing of all these projects working together, the growth of them all, will be infinitely greater than just Steemit or just this or just that. It's incomparable. So this will be a key part of our marketing going forward. But to be honest, even though we've talked a little bit about communities and their importance, we've talked a little bit about, of course, developers and how we're going to be partnering with projects working on the Steam blockchain to expand the community and the ecosystem as a whole. Most of the marketing information has not yet been revealed. That will be saved for next week. So we'll save some of the really fun stuff for then, and some of that, of course, will hit the news, so be excited. Now, I have one more thing, and this is going to be a very, very special thing to share. As of now, we have a new community liaison on the Steemit marketing team. Some of you may know him. He's a long-standing member of the community, a long-standing Steemian, and he's been a very honest and objective voice in his dealings with me and in our conversations. I'll be relying on him more and more to spread the word about Steam and to help bring the best projects to the front and the best partnerships possible. But I'm not going to spoil the surprise as to who he is. I'm going to let his video roll. And everybody, I'd like to introduce you to our new community liaison with Steemit Inc. Please welcome him.
Hey everybody, Andrew here, and I can't tell you how happy I am to announce that I've been offered my dream job working for my dream company, Steemit. Today, Mitchell's giving more details about his marketing strategy, which I couldn't be more excited about because I've seen firsthand the changes that are coming to Steemit, and I assure you, you won't be disappointed. I've already been helping Mitchell familiarize himself with our totally unique community. And while I've been impressed by his ability to think up innovative solutions, I've been even more impressed by his willingness to be persuaded of other people's good ideas. Mitchell's convinced me that his ambition isn't to tell everyone what to do, it's to hear the best ideas that are out there and give the people behind them the power to actualize them. He has no ego. He's all about results, and I am too. By combining his knowledge of crypto marketing with my knowledge of our community, we're certain that we'll be able to build and implement a revolutionary marketing strategy that won't just spread awareness of Steemit and Steam, but also empower our users, empower you, and live up to Steam's promise of revolutionizing how we do everything. But I want you to know that I don't believe I deserve this. I know I'll have to earn it every single day. But that's okay, because outside of my family members and loved ones, there is no single group I care more about than Steemians. So I will earn it. I'll earn it by doing the best job that I can of bringing us all together so that we can tell our story to the world. A story about David versus an army of Goliaths. A story about how a small community on the internet freed people from the clutches of Facebook, Google, Twitter, and any other massive institution that seeks to sell our attention, our content, and our freedom to the highest bidder while giving nothing back to us except ads. That's what Mitchell and I will be doing, working with you to tell a story A story that ends with everyone knowing that Steemit is the most revolutionary social network in the world. A social network that does one tiny, simple thing. It allows anyone to earn some money for their content. For some people, that money isn't enough. For some people, no amount of money is ever enough. But for some people, the money that they can make, that anyone can make on Steemit, is enough to change their lives. It's the difference between being hungry and being satisfied. It's the difference between having to let a serious condition go untreated and being able to afford seeing a doctor. As Hilarski said in his article the other day, there are people for whom making an additional $3 a day on Steemit posts is the equivalent of a 20% raise. And that's when the platform's still in its infancy. But none of that matters if they never find Steemit. So it's our job to tell a story that gets them onto this platform so that they can make some money from their content. Because for billions of people, billions, every little bit helps. And let me tell you, Facebook isn't going to help them. Google isn't going to help them. Paying people for their content goes against their corporate DNA. They exist to capture the labor and attention of their users so that they can sell it to the highest bidder, and they will fight tooth and nail to resist offering you even a cut of what they sell you for, because that would cut into their profits. They'll do everything in their power to stop us from succeeding. That's what we're up against, and we can only beat them together. 2 years ago, I quit a safe job in real estate marketing and closed my startup because I didn't feel I was doing enough to make the world a better place. I had to wait 2 long years before I could find what I was looking for. A company that I thought had the best odds of revolutionizing society so as to maximize freedom and empowerment. It's been a long journey, and there were times when I almost lost hope. But I'm happy to say that I finally reached my destination. So now it's time to start an entirely new journey, one that I hope you'll join me for, just as I've joined Mitchell and the rest of the Steemit team. People need to hear a story about Steemit. They need to hear your story, and they need to hear it from you. That's what we'll be focusing on in the coming weeks, figuring out how to help you tell your story. The story about how Steemit empowered you to do something you never did before. The world needs to hear about how you became a Steemian.